in Leamington Spa and raped by these two Afghan asylum seekers.
You know, Mark White, I always find those victim impact statements the most painful things to listen to. You know, that girl's life will never be the same again. 15-year-old girl there, just innocence, just destroyed by two monsters who came to the country illegally, came in on small boats, and there'll be a huge conversation to be had in the aftermath. But I just want to say now from Mark, you know, I'm trying to keep it together. You know what I'm like. I just hope that girl gets better and recovers. Mark White, thanks for joining us on the show. Let's get back to the studio. Chris Hope is with me. Chris, you know, I find that so painful to listen to things like that when you think a 15-year-old girl's life will never be the same again. A huge conversation is bound to start now about the fact that people can come to this country, throw their documents in the sea, lie about their age, be afforded anonymity in court, and even here we hear one of them hopes to rebuild a life in Britain after his sentence. That girl will be trying to rebuild her life forever. Surely we now have to get to a point where all of these monsters should just be deported.
Well, it beggars belief they wanted to build a life in here after doing that to someone or living here legally, to arrive here illegally like that, and then do that is disgusting, outrageous. Credit to the courts for naming them. If they're 17, as they say they are, they're naming them. We're getting the names out there. We're talking about them. But this is the point, from a political standpoint, where people say, we don't know who's coming here. That's the point about these small boats crisis. That's why the government gets it. That's why Shabana Mahmood is announcing more measures before Christmas, we expect. They understand why it's so important to know who comes here. They throw away their documents, we don't know who's coming in. 40,000 or so already this year, could be 45,000 maybe by the end of this month for the full year. That'd be one of the highest years on record. And that's why we have to deal with it. And that's why I think it's so hard when the Home Office commandeers a hotel or a house of multiple occupation and just moves young men in. What are the families on their streets meant to think? We don't know who they are, where they've come from,